Hey folks, it's Andy Barrar, Handy Andy from handyandymedia.com. Today I'll be doing a review for Best Buy's blog on this. It's a wireless Bluetooth speaker from Raycon and it's called the Everyday speaker. Now with a name like that, you expect it to be used for everyday use. But is it any good? Well, we're going to find out. In this review, we'll look at the design of the Everyday speaker. We'll talk a little bit about some notable features and the control options. I'll discuss my experiences using it. And even, just for kicks, we're going to play some music on here so you can hear what it sounds like. Now, because of copyright rules, I can't play any popular music. However, your boy here just happens to have produced his own music, and we're going to debut that today because YouTube cannot block that. So, without further ado, you know how we do here at Handy Andy Media. Sit back, relax, get your popcorn ready, folks, and cue the intro. So let's go ahead and start with the design of the Everyday speaker. You can tell just by looking at it that it is super compact. It fits in one hand and it only weighs about half a pound. Now on the side, you actually have this little tiny fabric hook, and that allows you to hook it up to your backpack. You could hook it up to your belt or what have you. On the top is where you're going to find your control options, and it's super simple. You got your volume up and down. You have this multi-link button and also your play and stop button. We'll talk a little bit about the multi-link button in a little bit later. The entire body of it is made from this hard plastic with this fabric, rugged fabric that coats it on the front and back. Now, when you look at it, you would assume that the speaker plays on both sides equally. However, you can't actually see it, but the speaker is showing on one side and not the other. And so when you put this by your ear and you flip it around, you can tell which side is the front and which is the back. Just visually, you can't really tell at first glance. On the side is where you're going to find your USB-C charging port. And one thing you'll notice is that there's this rubber flap that kind of holds it in place. That's because the Everyday speaker has an IPX7 water resistant rating, meaning it can be submerged in 1 meter of water for 30 minutes. Essentially, that makes this waterproof. So if you're at the pool, heck, you could even have this in your bathtub. Listen to a podcast, maybe it falls over into the water. Not a problem because of the IPX7 water resistance rating. So whether it's water or dust, you can use this as camping, you put it on the beach. It doesn't matter. It's going to be able to basically handle the elements, including rain. So in that sense, you have to look at this from the design perspective to know that this is a versatile, everyday speaker, pun intended, that you could use for listening to podcasts, music, or even watching TV shows and movies on your mobile device. Now let's talk a little bit about the pairing and control functions of the Everyday speaker. What's kind of interesting, I wasn't expecting this, but basically you press the power button, you hold it on for 4 seconds, and you're going to hear this. Watch.
Raycon. Power on.
So basically you have these voice prompts and that little singing group that goes Raycon. I haven't seen that before, but I guess it's a nice little feature that you could have. Once you pair it to your device, the cool thing is, like you heard, it automatically will pair to it again. So this is actually a good use case because it makes it really easy to use on a day-to-day basis. Say you have this hooked to your backpack, listen to music, your friends, you're like, oh, you got to hear the sound or the song. Turn this on, automatically pairs, and you can play it. Turn it off, and then you're good to go. So, you know, in that sense, it is versatile. One thing it doesn't have, and I checked, is the dual pairing in Bluetooth. So some speakers, Bluetooth speakers, you can have 2 devices paired to it at the same time, like your tablet and your smartphone. This one can only pair to 1 device. So that's something to note. It's the Everyday speaker, but if you want to use it with more devices, you're going to have to unpair it and then repair it to another device. So that's something to look into. Now I mentioned this multi-link button. Basically what that does is it allows you to connect 2 of these Everyday speakers together. Unfortunately, I only have one for the review, so I was unable. It was just grinds my gears because I really wanted to test that feature because I want to know if it's just an additional speaker or multiple speakers. Can you hook 3 or more up? Because if you could do that, You could probably set up a multi-room home speaker system with this. And you say you have an old tablet you can mount on the wall and have all of these connected in different rooms. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I needed like at least 3 of these to be able to test that out. But unfortunately, I only have this one. So if you do know, please leave those in the comments below. So I want you to be able to hear the speaker itself. But like I mentioned, because of copyright laws, I can't play any popular music. However, YouTube cannot flag this song because I wrote it myself. I had to go into the archives in this Google Drive folder that I had. I wrote this a long time ago. I used to live in Toronto. I used to just dream about coming back to the West Coast, and I wrote this song called Going Back to Van City, and I want you to hear it for the first time. So what I'll do is just turn the power button on.
Power on.
Tells you that it's powered on. It's going to connect. There you go. And now I'm going to go ahead and play this track, and then I'll go through the sound mode so you can hear it as well. Got that nice West Coast feel, you know? Now let's go through the sound profile. So I'll just press the button on top.
Bass sound.
So, and I can just feel that there's more bass in my hand just having that mode on. Now I'll go ahead and press it again.
Pure sound.
This is pure sound. This is where the highs are kind of accentuated. So it's really bright. But I like the next one.
Balanced sound.
Yeah. That sounds good to me. And again, if I want to stop it, I just press the button on top and I can stop it. So you can kind of get a good idea about how it sounds. You have those 3 modes. Personally, I like the balanced sound. I find that it has the best of the low and the highs. Of course, you have bass, which accentuates the bass, and that pure mode or whatever it was called, that's more on the highs. But overall, when you look at, the size, 11 hours of battery life, the fact that it is super portable, weighs half a pound, it is super small, can fit in one hand, it's waterproof and dust proof and affordable. There's a lot to like for the everyday speaker from Raycon. The only thing is, folks, at this price point, I almost wish that they would come with 2 at the same time. I have yet to see a manufacturer say, hey, we have dual pairing abilities. You can pair two speakers at the same time, or multi-link as they call it. And here we go. We're going to give you 2 speakers. Now you got your left and right. We're getting you started. You can buy 2 more of these or just keep adding on. I want to see that. And at this price point, they could do that because 2 of these is still probably going to be lower than a lot of the other Bluetooth speakers on the market today. Anyways, there's a lot to like for the everyday speaker, everyday use. If you're not an audiophile, you're not too concerned about the sound, and you just want this to listen to podcasts or movies and TV shows, at this price point, you really can't go wrong, folks. Once again, my name is Andy Barrar. If you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and leave your comments below. If you want to get a hold of yours truly or learn more about me, you can go to my website, handyandymedia.com. I also have a YouTube channel where I do tech reviews, DIY content, you name it. It's pretty much anything in my life I'll just record and show you what I'm trying to fix, build, or what I broke. Once again, my name is Andy Barrar, Handy Andy from Handy Andy Media. See you again next time. Bye for now.